Hello everyone, Ashley here. Welcome to Ashley Talks Movies, and welcome to my review of Hocus Pocus 2, the sequel to the 1993 film Hocus Pocus. So, Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, and Kathy Najimy have returned as the Sanderson sisters. Yes, they are back. This takes place 29 years after they were first resurrected by the Black Flame Candle. Now, before I get into the review, a few things. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel by clicking on that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. Also, hit that notification button so you don't miss any of the videos that I'm posting. Okay, time for the review. So as I said, Hocus Pocus 2 is a sequel to the 1993 film Hocus Pocus, which has developed quite the cult following over the years. And in many ways, I feel the film is trying to recapture that nostalgia that people might have for that movie. Now, I like Hocus Pocus. I don't love it. It's one of those movies where I watched as a kid. It was okay. If it would come on during Halloween, if it was on TV, I might watch it. But I never went out of my way to watch it. I don't really have a strong attachment to the movie. I think that's why I didn't like Hocus Pocus 2. This movie speaks to people who have a certain fondness for the first movie, and I'm not that person. I think this movie relies really heavily on nostalgia. And, I felt at times there were a lot of moments in this movie that felt beat for beat like the first movie. And with the exception of like a few new characters, some modern touches here and there, this movie just seemed to mostly want to recreate the first one in many ways, and not do too much beyond that. But at least this movie has better CGI. Now, this movie starts off with a flashback to when the Sanderson sisters were young, and you see when they first get expelled from Salem. And let me just say, I want to praise the young actors who portrayed the young versions of the Sanderson sisters because, oh my goodness, they were so amazing. They managed to capture the mannerisms so well. I mean, everything. They had them down, nailed it, amazing. And honestly, I'll have to say that I found that part of the movie far more interesting than some of the other stuff that happened later on. Mostly because I think it was just different, right? It was giving you insight to these characters that you're familiar with, but things you didn't know about them. So honestly, I think the movie would have been better had it been a full-on prequel. Diving into the origins of the Sanderson sisters. But anyway, the movie then, follows those familiar beats of the first movie, and you have the Sanderson sisters being resurrected by a black flame candle being lit, similar to the first movie. And then it's a whole fish out of water sort of situation with them being thrust into this new time period, modern, 2022. And there's all these, running gags about that. And so there's a lot of the comedy relies on them being fish out of water. And then, there's some new characters introduced in this movie. And with the exception of the character that was introduced the first part of the movie, the other new characters I didn't really find very interesting. This is nothing against the actors who portrayed these characters. It's just the characters themselves I felt like weren't really fleshed out, and I didn't find them interesting. So you have the Sanderson sisters who are back, and they're very interesting. You have Bette Midler and Sarah Jessica Parker and Kathy Najimy just doing an amazing job with those characters again, and those characters are fun and interesting. I just think that some of the newer stuff, while I appreciated it, because obviously, one of my biggest criticisms about this movie is that it felt too familiar. While I appreciated the new stuff, I do feel like the new stuff wasn't very well written, and not as interesting. Anyway, I didn't hate Hocus Pocus 2. I don't want you to come away from this review thinking that I hated this movie. I didn't. It was mildly entertaining. It had its moments, okay? But ultimately, it just wasn't for me. And that's okay. So that's my review of Hocus Pocus 2. If you've had a chance to watch the film and you want to share your thoughts, you can do so in the comment section below. While you're here, like this video, hit that thumbs up button, and don't forget to subscribe to see more videos like this.